Ready when you are, my dear.
Hang on. I'm cleaning.
Oh my goodness.
Hey y'all, today we're coming at you from San Antonio, Texas, and we're getting ready to go see the Alamo and the Riverwalk. But before we do, I need to put dinner together. So today, we're going to be making our pork roast with gravy, which is low carb, high delicious, and we're going to make it all while having a whole lot of fun. Hey y'all, today we're in San Antonio, Texas, and we're getting ready to go to the Riverwalk, and we're going to go check out the Alamo. But before we do that, I gotta get dinner ready. It's my turn, and I wanted to do something that we have done before on the channel, but I really like the recipe. So we're gonna have something that we're gonna make a little more low carb, but it's gonna be really delicious. It's our pork roast with gravy. And so what you're gonna need for this are the following ingredients. One, you need a pork roast. So I've got a pork loin here that's about 2 pounds in our Instant Pot slow cooker. And then you also need 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. You need 1 packet of au jus gravy. And you also want a half a cup of water. Now, we're saying this is low carb because when you spread it out with the servings, it is low carb. In this can of soup, you're getting 8 grams of carbs. Take off 2 of that because you got some fiber in there. You got about 6 grams of carbs.
Your net carbing.
Your net carbon.
And that au jus gravy we're using instead of the pork gravy, which is an original, which has more flour, has flour in it, where that doesn't.
You got 1 gram of carbs in this whole packet. So altogether you're looking at between 5-6 carbs.
Yeah.
And
dispersed
that's for everybody. And then
right.
You do the math with about 4 servings here. Okay. You're not getting that many carbs. So what I want to do first off is I'm going to take my packet of mushroom soup and I'm just going to put it on the top of my pork roast. Ooh, that comes out all by itself. Look at that. Huh. Good. I don't like scraping out the can with my
No, you cut it all up.
Yeah.
You get in trouble.
Yeah. I get in trouble a lot.
Aw, we feel so bad. Okay, now dump in your water and sprinkle.
No, water right around.
Yeah.
That's going to keep it moist.
And then sprinkle your gravy on top.
This is a really hard recipe to put together. I'll tell you what. She always makes me make the hardest recipes. Right over the top.
Now to clarify.
Pork roast.
Mikey is using an Instant Pot multi-cooker, not a pressure cooker. And the last time we used it, we either did something wrong or we need to set a setting on it differently because the warmer did not automatically kick on, which is so weird for a slow cooker. But so we're going to make sure and put the warmer on in case we're not right back in 5 hours.
Yeah, because we probably won't be. The recipe says to do between 5 and 6 hours. We have a larger vessel than normal. I think the last time we had it was like in a smaller, like a what did you say?
2.5 quart.
2.5 quart. So this is a 6 quart. So 5 to 6 hours. We know that the Instant Pot cooks a little cooler than, like, say, our Ninja or our Cuisinart. It's still a good product. We're digging it so far. So 5 hours would be good. If it cooks a little longer, I don't think it's going to hurt it because it's such a
we want the warming feature to kick on.
So we will put that on, and while we're letting this cook, we're going to the Alamo. You remember? Get it? Remember the Alamo?
Oh, my word.
Downtown San Antonio. Alamo, here we come.
Where you from?
Indianapolis. So we're standing at the stoplight waiting for the walk signal, and this really nice gentleman says, "Hey, where y'all from?" I don't know how he could think that we were tourists, but he gave us good directions to walk to the Alamo, so we're headed there now. This is a beautiful city. Of course, you got the Riverwalk coming up here because the city was built around the mission. The missions were built around water. Now we're going to walk this way. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, that's gorgeous. All these restaurants and shops along the river here. Well, we're here. This is the Alamo. Now, when you think of it in the movies or what you see in the stories, you think like it was all by itself. You know, kind of like the other missions we saw, there was not much around it. Some had been built up. You know, some of the communities have been built up around later on. The Alamo, however, is downtown San Antonio. You got tall buildings, you got the plazas, you got shops. And then across the street, they've built Ripley's museums and other, tourist traps, I guess you want to say, that are here. But we're going to go inside and check it out and see what it's like.
Yep.
She goes, she's always looking for cookbooks. So the Alamo was cool.
Yes.
Not very YouTuber friendly.
No, a lot
there
of no taping, but we had a lot of fun interacting with the living history.
Yeah, but I mean, they make it's sacred ground. This is where U.S. soldiers died, and this is also a church. And you come in, you take your hats off, you shut off your cameras, and just observe the living quarters of where these soldiers died, where Jim Bowie died, and Davy Crockett, and all the names that you've studied about. But still, it was awesome again to step back in history. They've got the Jim Bowie exhibit in the back, and it's amazing to see the history of the knife, but more so the history of the guy. I think we're gonna head on down to the Riverwalk now, maybe grab something to eat, and check out the rest of San Antonio.
Okay.
My first Whataburger today. It's a pretty town.
Yes.
Very pretty. We were gonna do the boat ride on the Riverwalk.
Yes.
But it was expensive.
And chilly.
Yeah, it's getting cold. It's supposed to get up to 70 today. It did not get there.
Yeah, and so we didn't wear appropriate attire, and it was getting dark, so we figured it was only going to get colder, and then it was going to be like $12 a person. And I'm pretty sure Addie wouldn't have been able to even get their kids discount because I think she was too old. Yeah. I'm not positive on that, but I think that we were going to have to pay full price for her too. And so we were just kind of like,
So if you come downtown to San Antonio to check out the stuff, you're going to have to pay to park. That was $10, and it's probably I don't know if it was because
and that was like cheap compared to a lot of places that we saw.
Some places the closer you get to the Alamo in that area are almost like $20. So it was $10 for that, and luckily if you go to any of the missions, they're free to get into, but you somehow got to get to them.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay to park when you come down here, and then if you do any activities.
Now, not the mission, like the other missions, you don't have to pay to park.
No.
But at the Alamo, around that area, since it's downtown, most of the parking does cost, which is expected. It's not like it's outrageous or anything. But then on top of that, if you need to eat, the Riverwalk stuff seemed a lot pricier than like in the rest of the city. So
we had a Whataburger. So
we went back up top to have a Whataburger because we were just gonna eat something small because we have our pork loin waiting for us at home. So we didn't want to pay to like have a big fancy meal and all of that. And so
we're about to go home and have that big fancy meal.
Yeah. So I will say ultimately for us, I think we particularly love the outdoor kind of activities, the
Hiking, riding, nature.
riding the bikes, like seeing, because we saw all kinds of beautiful, like wildlife yesterday. That kind of thing is much more appealing than the hustle and bustle of the city for us. And I think we've gotten a taste of both of those things on this trip. But as we plan future trips, I think we're probably going to lean more towards the nature stuff.
But if you dig the city life, then this is absolutely a gorgeous town to do so.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we prefer to do back home too when we're chilling out. We prefer to go to the park and bike and walk and hike and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of natural for us that's what we prefer to do.
But when I asked some friends back home, like, hey, have you ever been to San Antonio? What would you do? They're like, well, naturally you go to the Alamo, but you've also got to see the Riverwalk. So we walked it, and it was awesome. I mean, it's gorgeous down there, and they've got these huge, gigantic, tall, round, big round trees. I don't know what kind of trees they were, but they were dropping nuts on my head. But it's a little congested down here.
He's driving in some pretty tense traffic right now, which is why I'm
coming out of San Antonio rush hour.
And he's getting in lanes that are exit only, and I'm like...
But it's gorgeous. Of course, they're going to have it lit for Christmas. So at night, if you go down there, you'll see the Christmas lights and stuff. We unfortunately couldn't stay there because we need to get back to the camper and get to Ock and get to dinner, get it taped.
But I'd say that definitely the Alamo, we saw lots of kids there on field trips and that kind of thing. And Miss Ad very much enjoyed it, and I can't say enough how much I really enjoyed the living history characters that were there. They were very engaging, and they did a really good job of like kind of teaching the kids. And it was so neat because Addie and the other kids were all like, I remember that from history. Like they would tell different, it wasn't just about the Alamo, but also about what they would do in that time period. So there was a whole section about the different medicines and techniques that and what people believed when it came to like things like malaria and things like that. And they were really engaging the kids, and it was really, really great. And then there was another guy that just kind of shared everything that the soldiers had in their packs. There was a woman there sharing about how the soldiers became kind of the target for gamblers because they were the ones that had the money that could actually, the gamblers could get from them. The other guy was sharing about all the different kinds of weapons that different kinds of people would have and why a certain weapon would work better in a situation than another. It was all very, very neat, and they were really good with the kids. So if you have kids, I think that was more engaging than anything else there. They did a really good job with that.
I learned that the rock star David Bowie got his name from Jim Bowie.
The knife maker.
Yes. Well, he wasn't a knife maker. His friend gave him a knife because he wanted his friend to have protection. So then Bowie uses this knife, which people called a butcher's knife, and he used it in a fight that became renowned, and like all over the country, everybody talked about Jim Bowie and this fight he had and how he used the Bowie knife, and so everybody wanted a Bowie knife after that. David Bowie, I can't remember what his name originally was, but he looked for Western culture, as far as like Western North America, Western United States culture, and Jim Bowie is how he got his name.
Interesting. It's still blurry. There we go. I wasn't present in that exhibit.
There's your history lesson.
Yeah.
So now I am going to get us back to the cow.
Camper on wheels, for those of you.
For those of you just now joining us, cow means camper on wheels. Unless we're saying we're eating cow, and then it's cow.
And hopefully we'll be less blurry once we get there.
This person's not going as fast as the rest of those persons.
The traffic. Oh my goodness.
To the cow!
To the cow. Hey welcome back. I am not Mikey. I am here though because dinner wasn't done when we got home. It had cooked for about 5 hours and it needed about another hour, and now our pork loin is sliceable. If you wanted it to if we wanted it to shred, we'd probably need to cook it even a little bit longer. But it is nice and tender enough to eat in slices. So that's what we're going to do tonight. But anyhow, I'm here because Mikey had to run off to go to an open mic. He's been doing a lot of those while we've been traveling in different parts of the country. And so he went to the open mic. I told him I would handle showing you guys and you know, make the sacrifice of doing the taste test for you guys with this pork loin. So I'm just going to show you here. I think you can see it. It is perfectly sliceable now, and this is about 6 hours in our Instant Pot Gem multi-cooker. Mikey mentioned before, we have found that the Instant Pot multi-cooker cooks just a little bit cooler than some of our other slow cookers, but this makes for a nice and juicy pork loin that we're going to serve this gravy up with. I just realized I forgot the plate and the ladle over there, so I can do that, so give me just a sec. Miss Ad's sitting over there in the corner getting the rest of her schoolwork done for the day, since we had a little bit of an excursion today.
I still have a spelling test to do and
Oh.
I don't want to do it.
Oh my goodness, we still have a spelling test. Goodness, she'll do just fine. So here we go. We got nice and juicy couple slices of pork loin. And we're going to pour the gravy over it. Yummy, yummy. Oops. Oh, I hate when that happens. I don't know if you saw what just happened, but the ladle fell down in the gravy. Let's try to make that not happen. Okay. So here we go with the taste test. Oh my goodness. There's a reason. Oh my goodness. I haven't had this in a while. There is a reason that this is one of the top recipes on the site. We love this recipe. Haven't made it in a little while. But it is so good. It is so savory. And even though the pork loin isn't like fork pull apart tender, it is still super tender to eat in slices like this. If you haven't tried this, it is so easy to put together and so incredibly yummy. It literally is 3 ingredients, and we put it on low for 6 hours, and perfection. Just absolute perfection. I would say, like I said, if you haven't tried this, you definitely need to give this a try. This is an easy win when it comes to a slow cooker recipe. So thanks for joining us today, guys, and I hope that you have enjoyed traveling with us. If you enjoyed this video and checking out this recipe and checking out the Alamo in downtown San Antonio with us today, if you could give us a thumbs up, we would appreciate it. And if you are not already a member of the Crock Posse, and you can easily become one by just clicking subscribe, and then you'll become a part of our wonderful crock potting family around here. If you guys keep watching, we'll keep cooking, and all will be well. Bye, guys. Could you spell pork loin for me, and I'll make you a plate.
Alright. P-O-R-K space L-O-I-N.
Definitely. Definitely.
Does that mean spelling test is done?
No.
Yeah, you made me. Oh, that man, yeah. With a love so unconfined. Ain't never gonna be a day when you're not always on my mind. You are my best friend. I'm your biggest fan. You made me. Yeah.